My name is Senator Francis Alimikena, representing the good people of Edo North. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, thank you for the opportunity to lead the debate on the general principle of the University of Technology, Auchi, Bill 2019. You will recall that this bill was read for the first time on Thursday, 3rd of October 2019. The bill essentially seeks to transform the Federal Polytechnic, Auchi, to University of Technology, Auchi. The Nigerian steady march towards education for all in the shortest possible time have taken a giant leap with the introduction of this bill for an act to provide for the establishment of the University of Technology, Auchi, and other related matters. I am personally excited by the prospect of transforming the Polytechnic to a University of Technology, not because it is based in my senatorial district, but because it will motivate both students and academic staff, just as we upgrade its facility and enhance the capability to achieve its objectives. Similarly, the University of Technology will encourage the advancement of learning and hold out to all persons without distinctions of race, creed, sex, or political conviction the opportunity of acquiring a higher and liberal education. It will also do the following: provide courses of instructions and facilities for the pursuit of learning in all its branches, and to make those facilities available on proper terms to such persons as to equip to benefit from them. B. Encourage and promote scholarship and conduct research in all fields of learning, with emphasis on technical education. C. Relate its activity to social, cultural, and economic needs of the people of Nigeria. And D. Undertake any other activities appropriate for a university of the highest standards. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I recall that in similar circumstances in the United Kingdom, most of its polytechnics were upgraded to universities. For instance, the former Polytechnic of Central London became the University of Westminster. South Park Polytechnic became the University of South Park. With the Polytechnic of North London became the University of North London. It should not be seen that we in Nigeria are copying them, but it is simply the reality of the day we live in. If Nigeria has planned should aim to become one of the world's 20 leading economies of the world by 2020, as currently being pursued by government, we must be ready to adjust and position our educational institutions so that its products are geared for the technological challenges inherent in such projections. Our educational authorities are moving to revamp our institution for these objectives. I am aware of similar bills for the upgrade of the Yaba College of Technology into the University of Technology, Yaba, and Kaduna Polytechnic to the University of Kaduna. And these are first-class polytechnics of the same status with Auchi Polytechnic. Therefore, Auchi Polytechnic cannot be left out of this upgrade. In this age of information technology, there is no going back in ensuring that we meet up with these international realities. The University of Technology, Auchi, when enacted by the National Assembly, we have power to establish such campuses, colleges, faculties, institutes, school, extramural department, and other teaching and research units within the university as may from time to time seem necessary to or desirable, subject to approval of the National University Commission. It will also, 1, institute professorship, leadership, lectureship, and other posts and offices, and to make appointment thereto. 2, institute and awards, fellowship, scholarship, exhibitions, bursaries, medals, prizes, and other titles, distinctions, awards, and form of assistance. 3, provide for the discipline and welfare of members of the university. 4, hold examinations and grant degrees, diplomas, certificates, and other distinctions to persons who have pursued a course of studies and approved by the university, among other activities. 5, grant honorary degree, fellowship, or academic titles. To ensure continuity in the administration of the university, it is provided in Section 8 that all property held on behalf of the Federal Polytechnic Auchi shall be vested in the university and be held by it for the purpose of the university. Notably, all staffs of the polytechnics are hereby transferred to the universities, and previous services in the polytechnic shall count as services for the purpose of any person payable by the university. Given its age and achievement, as well as the requirement of the Nigerian economy, it is clear that with the enactment of this bill, the institute will focus on the so-called STEM, science, technology, and engineering and mathematics courses. The attainment of the university status would definitely enhance the operations of Auchi Polytechnic and clarify its mission and vision. It is definitely old enough. Its facilities are superior to those found in many other Nigerian universities, and with the arguable exception of very few in the country. Mr. President, my distinguished colleagues, the institution is prepared to undertake the educational and other modifications that are natural query of transforming to a university. The institution is also prepared to remain true to its core mandate of producing well-trained manpower capable of driving the technological management and business goals of the nation. In this regard, it will seek to emulate the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, which has built upon a tradition of distinction to become one of the world's foremost educational institutions. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I fully certify that the provisions in this bill are adequate to ensure the takeoff of the proposed university, and I will not hesitate to encourage my colleagues to support it in all stages of its journey to become a law of the Federation of Nigeria. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I wish to state that there is no financial implication to this bill. All the operational structures are already in place, and the university is taking over from its existing Federal Polytechnic Auchi with the same budgetary provision. I therefore urge all my colleagues the full support of this bill. I so move, Mr. President.
My name is Oluremi Tinubu, and I rise to second this very, very laudable bill. Can I have it? By our distinguished leader, Senator Francis Alemekino, for the upgrade of Auchi Polytechnic to University of Technology. Is already giving very, very good examples of universities that have done that in developed world. And I can remember MIT in Boston is one of the best schools in Boston today. And we can only move higher education-wise. And I believe that other schools can even start up as polytechnics. Once Auchi has been there for a long time. I'm also a product of Adeyemi College of Education, and we were the set that were the pioneer set that they started the pre-degree that after 3 years you can go on to have your BSc, and we did that successfully. And Adeyemi is awarding BScs and BAs today, and I believe that if we can do that to Auchi is a very reputable school. And because I thought, I was looking at, I belong to the Committee on Tertiary Institution, I was wondering that so many universities that we wanted, but listening to his bill critically, I thought the time is now, and the time is due for us to move ahead. If we want to take this country to the next level, this is the best way to start. And if we are doing that to Yaba College of Technology and also notable institutions around the country, I believe that the time is now and the time is right. So I so ably and humbly second this bill to be read a third time. Thank you very much, sir.
Senator Bikule Amosu.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ibikunle Amosu, I represent Ogun Central. Let me join my colleague in commending the effort of the sponsor of this bill, Senator Francis Ali McKenna. Mr. President, in supporting this bill, let me bring to light some of the things that probably will make it very difficult for one not to support it. Education is key. Education is critical. I've always argued that without education, there clearly will not be any other thing. They call it social, economic development or what have you. It is education that forms the bedrock of any development. Indeed, once education is fixed, all other sectors, all facets of human endeavor will be fixed. And in supporting this bill, I want to echo what has been said, that this is not a new institution. Indeed, even though the time of when Federal Polytechnic Auchi was established is not stated here, but clearly these are institutions that is even probably about 40 years old or so. So it is not just a new institution that is being clamored for. And the mover of this bill clearly listed and listed all of those institutions that have followed the same path. Indeed, we will see a chronology of both local and even international institutions. But let me say, Mr. President, the whole world is moving, and that's why I'm excited about this. The whole world is going, it's now technology driven, and we can't be left behind. So this initiative is one that should be applauded, one that should be supported. He has said we all know what happened to Yaba Tech. Yaba Tech now is a degree awarding institution. So also is Kaduna Polytechnic. And I want to believe that Auchi Polytechnic should follow suit. Mr. President, just for the record, in 2017, Moshood Abiola Polytechnic migrated, which we went to the NUC, and we migrated to Moshood Abiola University of Science and Tech. And when you look at what he said, STEM, that is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, it is just to give our people, particularly our younger ones, the opportunity to fall in line, so to say, the opportunity to play according to world best practices, such that what happens in probably in China, in India, in US, in Europe, of course, we will not left behind. So, Mr. President, in supporting this bill, I want to say that my other colleagues should do the same, such that the City University, that's the only one that I didn't understand the name, City University of Technology. I would have loved it to still be the Auchi, but City will mean you want everybody to be part of it and will not just be maybe localized and say it's just for Auchi people. On these very few words, Mr. President, I want to support this bill and that it should be read second time and be forwarded to the appropriate committee for further consideration and eventual passage. Thank you, Mr. President.
Deputy Senate Leader, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk of the Senate. 2019 second reading taken, and the bill is referred to the Senate Committee on Tertiary Institutions and Tet Fund to report back within 4 weeks. Thank you very much, distinguished colleagues. I think The point raised by the Deputy Senate Leader is a very important point, and our Committee on Tertiary Education particularly should be looking into that direction. That universities that have specialized mandate, University of Agriculture or University of Technology, should be restricted to providing degrees and other certificates in those areas that are supposed to be their core mandates, rather than delving into the general environment of providing degrees even in sociology and so on and so forth. I think this is one thing that our Committee on Tertiary Institutions should be able to take up with Federal Ministry of Education and NUC and any other statutory stakeholder that is supposed to be involved in this, because it is really very important that we are able to prepare for our tomorrow. If we want to develop, we have to provide the critical mass of the manpower that we need, and we cannot do without getting into science and technology, as already discussed here in the Senate on this bill. Thank you very much. Leader of the Senate.